Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment.
And it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, it's Love. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Now it's the fullback. This is Kyle Juszczyk. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Tackled by Jordan Willis.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Willis in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
And he's going to go down again. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
Situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep is T.Y. Hilton. And he'll get this up to right around the 8-yard line. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Luck is going to run out of time and out of luck as well. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
McKinnon, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Garoppolo looks to throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now a play fake, and it's long. Now a hit, and Lodge lost the football. It's out. And this is going to be 49er football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They caught the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Luck on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Over the middle, Dorsett. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This is Cohen. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Cohen. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They snap it to Locke. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. They get 6 yards going for it on 4th, and now it's 1st and goal.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try the air now with Locke. And that is caught. It's Dorsett for the Colts touchdown. Philip Dorsett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Well, you're looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, make sure you avoid the crazies out there and welcome in everybody to this Halloween edition of our EA Sports Halftime Report. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. The Dolphins trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Another game of interest in the AFC East has us checking in on the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. The Jets seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Christian Kirk up over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? Find out. Let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Locke sliding out of the pocket. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck rolling to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. And he's got his man, Hilton. Hilton's first catch, good for a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Play action. It's Locke. They'll roll him out right. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Play action, Garoppolo. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. They run. This is Cohen. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're going to go. It's Luck. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's McKinnon. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Gould now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down, it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on third down, Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart. Valadic. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A shotgun snap for Luck. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route.
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Luck. They're able to find Dorsett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw on second down is Luck.
Dorsett's got him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. From the gun, here's Luck. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Luck. Complete to Dorsett. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead here in the 4th. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now Luck. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Do you have one of those charts that tells you to go for 2 or go for 1?
I don't. I know you do. But I don't care what the chart says there. You got to kick it, right?
I agree totally because somewhere the chart's something's going to pop out of the chart and say, hey, man, just kick the extra point here. You're in good shape. I think they were chasing points there when they didn't need to.
Yeah, try to get a little bit greedy, take the lead in the 4th quarter. Now they still trail by 1. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one goes for 24 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Garoppolo 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also fourth. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're up by one. They have the football. The key here, just don't do anything silly, right, Charles?
That's exactly right. You know, all the admonitions as they ran out there. Take care of the ball. Secure everything. Be tight in everything that you do. No let up. No crazy plays. And they can go home with a victory.
Let's see here if they can do all those things and hang on to this victory. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing now, Luck. Wide open receiver complete. The 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They try again with Cohen. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.